Welcome, brave soul, to abyss of horror. Here the walls remember your name, and even silence has claws. Tonight we drift into the shadows of sleep, into the space where your body lays paralyzed, eyes open, and something else begins to move. You've heard of sleep paralysis, no doubt. The heaviness, the dread, the figure at the edge of your bed. But this is different. This is not about what comes to you in the night. This is about what comes through you. This is the story of Jordan Rook. In the third room, Jordan hadn't slept in 3 days. It began like any ordinary stretch of insomnia. Eyes burning from phone glow, brain gnawing itself into loops, hours spent staring at the cracked ceiling paint of his new apartment. A cheap place, just on the edge of town. 2 rooms, 1 bathroom. Basic, isolated, perfect for someone running from nothing in particular. But there was a third door. The first door led to his bedroom, the second to the bathroom. The third, always locked, was supposedly a maintenance closet. The landlord mentioned it once, briefly, eyes never quite meeting Jordan's. "Don't worry about that one," he said. "It's sealed shut." It wasn't. On the third night, Jordan awoke at exactly 3:33 a.m., paralyzed, unable to move a single muscle except for his darting, panicked eyes. And the third door was open. Only an inch. Just enough for the blackness to leak out and touch the room like a whisper. He couldn't move, couldn't scream, couldn't even blink. But he heard footsteps. Slow, wet, uneven. And then the dragging started. Something pulling itself from that dark crack in the wall, joints bending the wrong way, breath wheezing like old cloth, tearing. It came into view. A figure hunched, its back arched grotesquely, skin the color of mold, eyes like pits, and a mouth too wide. Too many teeth. No lips. Just a grin stretched across a face, not meant for smiling. It crept up to his bed, inches from his face. And then it whispered, "You left the door open." When he finally jerked awake, soaked in sweat and shaking, the door was closed again. Sealed. As if it had never moved. He tried to laugh it off. Told himself it was just sleep paralysis, a hallucination. That his brain was tricking him with midnight static and irrational fear. Until he saw the marks. 3 long scratches across the floor leading from the third door to the side of his bed. Not imagined. Not in his head. Real. He moved a chair in front of the door, left lights on, slept during the day, wore headphones at night. It didn't help. The creature came back the next night, and the next, each time more confident, closer. It spoke in riddles now, sometimes in a language that sounded like water running backward, sometimes in his own voice. His body would remain still, frozen, but his mind screamed. The worst part was not the creature. It was the fact that he remembered everything. The smell of rot, the texture of its fingers pressing into his chest, the sound it made when it breathed with no lungs. By the 6th night, he stopped leaving the apartment. By the 9th, he stopped sleeping at all. He told his neighbor, an elderly woman who smelled of burnt herbs and wore old silver rings, that he was being haunted. She looked at him the way someone looks at a person who's already dead. "You saw it," she said. "Now it sees you." He laughed nervously, but her voice had a finality to it. She died that night. Peacefully, the coroner said. But her bedroom wall had claw marks, 3 of them, deep, fresh, as if something had tried to follow her into her dreams. Jordan knew the creature wasn't just haunting him now. It was spreading. He tried to record it. Cameras, audio. But every file was corrupted after 3:33 a.m. static screeches. Occasionally, a frame of himself suspended above the bed, mouth open, eyes rolled back, fingers bent in impossible angles. One night, he awoke in a different place, a stone room wet with condensation. The walls pulsed like they were alive. There were no doors, no windows, but above him, like a ceiling made of shadow, the 3rd door floated. It opened. The creature dropped through, taller now, wearing someone else's face, someone familiar, someone dead. "You're the bridge," it hissed. "You left it ajar." When he came to, he was in his bathtub, fully clothed, bleeding from his ears. He hadn't moved there on his own. He tried checking into a hospital, just to escape the apartment. But the door appeared there too. No handle. No seams. Just a crack in the wall that grew wider every hour. The staff thought he was hallucinating, that he was sleep-deprived, that the fear made him see things. But when he vanished one night without opening a single door or window, they started to wonder. They found the ceiling vent open. Inside, they found skin, human, fresh. And in the center of the hospital bed, carved into the mattress, the words, "Not sleep paralysis. Not anymore." Jordan was never found again. But stories began to circulate. A nurse said she saw the 3rd door in her closet one night. A patient claimed they dreamed of a man whispering through the crack. 3 weeks later, that patient was found in the morgue freezer, eyes open, body frozen in a scream. Some say the 3rd room isn't a place, it's a passage. And once you've seen it, once you've felt the paralysis, the weight, the breath on your cheek while your body refuses to move, it never leaves. It waits. So if you wake up tonight, eyes wide, body still, if there's a door in your room that wasn't there before, don't look at it, because if it opens, it doesn't close again. If you made it this far, weary dreamer, like to keep the nightmares fed, subscribe to Abyss of Horror for more tales that whisper when you're alone. And comment "I see the door" if you've ever felt something watching you while you sleep. Just remember, sleep paralysis is not the end, it's the invitation.